now we're continue with Bruno.
Yes, hello, I'm Bruno. It's really tough to follow, amazing work. Thank you for the presentation. I'm from Additive Tectonics. It's a Bavarian additive manufacturing startup. Kind of started as an architecture startup, but it's also not really a startup. It's actually a spin-off, and we were talking about this with the Autodesk University part, where a lot of companies get sponsored by industry. Like basically that's us. Like we have a big 3D printing company, the Fit AG, as a stakeholder in the company. That makes us quite resistant to big changes in construction, because doing a construction startup that builds is really complicated. So what we are doing is actually we are trying to establish a new world of making by using different additive manufacturing technologies and check them for industry readiness, and then use the ones that are ready for construction and scale them up, make them fast. The biggest problem right now is not actually the scale, it's actually the speed of additive manufacturing. Why additive manufacturing matters, I think we don't have to reiterate. Like basically we create, in construction, a lot of mess, a lot of waste. We have still a lot of human labor on the construction side. Construction should be as digitally planned as possible, but there comes a lot of complexity that a lot of standard construction technologies can't handle. But then our goal is also to bring a new way of thinking architecture into the built environment, basically breaking out of the modern way of building and creating something that might be more unique for special cases. So there we focus on 3 different materials. Oh, there's the material missing, sorry. So basically we have digital concrete, digital wood, digital metals, and computation. What's very interesting is that we are not focused on one material, we are focused on additive manufacturing. How we apply this to projects is always very different. I will focus today more on the digital concrete and the digital wood, because in our technology readiness studies we found that most of the metal 3D printing technologies are far away from being applied in industry. And as a startup, you kind of have to think of how to make money in the end. This also brings me to the next point. The company was established in 2020, but already in 2018, we basically had the possibility to operate on a building, on a 3,000 square meter facade. I don't want to talk about the architecture and about the reason behind it, because we basically got approached by an architecture company, and they asked us if we are ready to make this huge facade system. And because I studied at TU Munich, I knew the new technologies that were coming out, and actually together with the founders of the AMC, we decided to say it's time to actually try to scale up a technology that's called selective cement activation to do this project. And with the scaling up, we actually found the spin-off. The project died. The project died in 2020 because of multiple reasons. I want to have a question: is there a real estate developer in the house? Okay, I just wanted to know, because money is one of the most important things when you try to do something like this, and people can just pull out of things. People can just get out of a project, and normally this means for construction startup that you're dead. If you deal with a project that's 2 million in sum, and that pays basically all of your operations, you're dead. We kind of managed to survive, but still we have scaled up this technology. You can see it's a huge factory. We had to go to a bank, get 5 million loan, which was done by the Förderbank that the Bavarian minister was talking about, to build this hall, to put the machine inside, to scale it up. We managed to print these parts. Basically, one of these parts takes roughly 2.5 hours to print, and it's made out of a kind of a more sustainable alternative material to concrete, which puts us back in a time frame because we had to go through certification, and this made the investors also get out of the project. So the world there is really tough if you want to build. That's basically what I want to say. How the machine works: it has 10 cubic meter of build space. You know it. There's a slicer. Now I get thrown back by the time because you kind of have to see how it works. Yeah, okay. So it slices it, it builds it, and it does it in 1.5 millimeter. But what we did at the same time was developing a range of different materials, and these materials now try to bring a new sustainable way of manufacturing onto the market. And this is why we kind of focus now more on interiors, because we saw that interior applications just go quicker. Construction takes a long time, and we basically try to make new 3D printing processes out of waste material or out of sustainable wood alternatives. Some of you might know the company that we work with to produce inside parts. Okay, so we are not an architecture startup right now, we are an interior startup right now, but of course we're still working on getting real pieces into industry, onto the market together with TU Munich and other research institutes. So let's see where this leads us. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno.